this tournament has not let football fans down. From absolute worldies
and finding Richarlison
to mistakes that can't be explained. From most heartfelt heartbreaks as well as moments of pure joy, this World Cup has evolved so much over the past 4 weeks, where we have been able to follow some world-class football and have nations come together again to support their team to the very end. But what were the highlights of the tournament so far? And who is going to be lifting this year's World Cup as well as the Golden Boot? Welcome to Would You Be With Us? What was the most eventful game at the World Cup? After coming first in their group and beating the US 3-1 in the last 16, the Netherlands faced Argentina, who came first in their group as well and knocked the hard-working Aussies out in the last 16, winning 2-1. This same face-off was seen 8 years ago in Brazil, where in the semi-final these two teams faced off, and since a somewhat rivalry has developed. And what a rivalry it was. Argentina started off by taking a 1-0 lead in the first half and making it 2 in the 73rd. 10 minutes later, Weghorst reduced Argentina's lead by 1, and with 10 minutes extra time and a spectacular free kick routine, Weghorst was able to slot the last minute winner home. It then went on into an intense 30 minutes of extra time with a shot off the post from the Argentinians in the 121st minute. It was all down to penalties, yet Virgil van Dijk and Steven Berghuis missed from the spot, costing them to proceed into the semi-finals of the World Cup. But this was just a summary of the scoreline. This was one of the most feistiest, most intense battles of football, creating a new world record of most yellow cards in a World Cup game. A total of 18 yellow cards were handed out, including a double yellow card leading to a red. There were fights, hard tackles, and support staff and managers getting booked throughout the game. The passion from both teams was incredible, yet sometimes the sportsmanship did get lost at times. Other great games that took place that deserve a shout out are all of Morocco's knockout games, as well as their game against Belgium. When Saudi Arabia defied the odds and defeated Argentina in their first game of their group stages, as well as when Japan shook Spain and Germany, winning both games with a deserved 2-1 scoreline. Who had the best fans at the World Cup? The African teams always deliver when it comes to their fans. The Senegalese and constant dancing did not disappoint, or the pure love that the mothers of the Moroccan players displayed, as well as the Ghanaian fan club with just an incredible display of their culture. Of course, there was always some great fan displays and funny costumes, but these teams really never miss. Which team ended up being the Black Horse at the World Cup? By now, of course, we are all aware of the power of the Moroccans and how underestimated they were at the beginning of this World Cup. As a start, they had a very difficult group, which many thought they would not make it out of from the beginning. Their first game started off as a draw against Croatia, which many respected, having seen the work they had put in. They then went on to rock the World Cup by knocking Belgium out of the World Cup by beating them 2-0 and securing their spot in the last 16 by beating Canada 2-1. The confidence they gained through topping Group F was oozing against Spain, where they played a high-pressured game, yet with no goals from either side after 120 minutes. It went to penalties, where Spain missed their first penalty and Bono became a hero, saving not one but 2 penalties for Morocco. Hakimi's penalty sealed Morocco's spot against Portugal in the quarter-final, where En Neziri Airlines was founded, jumping 2 meters and 78 centimeters into the air, almost equaling his opponent Ronaldo's record, which is 2 meters and 93 centimeters. The Moroccans held on and faced France in the semi-final and fought bravely, yet after pouring their heart out, it still wasn't meant to be. An honourable mention here also goes to the Japanese, Koreans, as well as the Aussies, who were not expected to make it out of the group stages, yet defied the odds and made it into the last 16. However, none of them were able to progress further. Which individuals scored the most goals at the World Cup? So far, the highest scorers of the World Cup are Kylian Mbappe and Lionel Messi, who have both scored 5 goals each, Mbappe increasing his World Cup goal tally to 9, and Messi making history and scoring the most goals for Argentina at a World Cup with 11 goals. Right behind them is Mbappe's teammate Olivier Giroud, who has netted a total of 4 goals for France, as well as Messi's teammate Julian Alvarez. This year's Golden Boot has come down to the final, and the two most feared strikers of the world, who are also teammates, will be having a golden boot face-off. Who was the best player of the tournament? There were so many talents at the World Cup that were not well known prior to the World Cup, but were able to shine, and it was amazing to see. Livakovic, Musiala, Bono Yassin, Unahi, and many more that just made everything more interesting and better. But, as a biased fan, I believe the best player at the tournament was Jude Bellingham. At only 19 years of age, the youngster orchestrated the English midfield and was just blossoming with confidence, playing like he had played at multiple World Cups beforehand. Who did you guys think deserves the player of the tournament? Please share your thoughts and comments down below. Who scored the best goal of the tournament? Richarlison receives a cross from Vinicius with his left foot, letting the ball float into the air while simultaneously spinning his body, and performs a bicycle kick just like it's pictured in the handbook, leathering the ball past the Serbian goalkeeper, who himself knew where that ball was going once it was struck. Other goals, such as Korean Sungho's blast from outside the box or Marcus Rashford's beautiful free kick, also deserve a mention here, and again, I urge you to share your personal favourite with our community. Who's going to win this year's World Cup? In my opinion, there are no downsides to whoever wins this World Cup. The reason I would like to see Argentina lift the World Cup is because I had predicted them to win on the day the World Cup kicked off, and of course, to see Messi complete his trophy collection. Yet, I would also enjoy seeing France lift the Coupe du Monde back to back, becoming the second team to ever do so. For my prediction, I will continue to trust my initial instinct by believing that the Argentinians are going to end up taking the Jules Rimet trophy home with them. Comment your predictions down below, and may the best team win.